Hi everyone, it's Laura. Today I thought we could do a couple of quick experiments. A few videos back I did an unboxing video of all of the really fun stuff that I received from the Home Sewing Depot. I will put a link up at the top here for that video and also at the end of this video if you'd like to go back and see all of the really cool stuff that I got. I'll also have a link in the description below of all of these items and also for Home Sewing Depot if you want to go get any of this stuff and try it out. It's really awesome. So today I wanted to do an experiment on some of the products that they sent me. And so what I've got here is the Sealah Tape from Home Sewing Depot. This is their 5-yard variety pack. So it's got an 1/8 inch roll, a 1/4 inch roll, a 1/2 inch roll, a 3/8 inch roll, and a 3/4 inch roll. So lots of fun stuff here. So I thought we would give this a test in a couple of different ways. And then I also have these Fiskars Non-Stick Scissors here. They sent me these so that I can cut this tape and some of the other tapes that they sent me without it gumming up the scissors. So I thought, while I'm playing with the tape, I'll play with the scissors too. So we're going to go ahead and try these out in a couple of different really quick, really simple, really easy experiments to see how they do. Also, one of the other items that they sent me was this Oh So Organized Stash in Store little organizer. So I just pulled it out. I thought it would be fun to use this to hold the scissors while I'm working. So this is what it looks like. It's called a Stash in Store. And it's got this cool little, these are like rubberized and you can move them around. These are actually pretty cool. And then the back it says, it's So Emma. I guess that's who the manufacturer is. I'll have a link for this in the description below as well. But I thought since I'm using a tool, I would test this out for how it works with holding the tools. So there you go. That's how it does. So it'll hold your scissors. Let's try some pencils. Some pencils. Some bigger scissors. Oh, it actually held those. I'm actually surprised. I thought those would be too big and too heavy and that it would like tip it over, and it doesn't. That's super cool. So that's how it looks like that. I know you guys are above it, so it kind of looks a little odd, but that's what it looks like. And it is actually staying up, and it is actually holding on to those tools. Very cool. Let's see how it works with a thick marker. So here we go. I just have a Spectrum Noir. Let's see how this does in here. Oh, it takes a little work. You got to squish it in there, but it will hold it. Isn't that kind of cool? So there's that. I'm going to have this set off to the side so I can just, you know, use my scissors and then stuff them back in. There we go. So I'm just going to have this off to the side, kind of out of view, but that's, I wanted to show that to you. Okay, so I went online to see what I could learn about Sealah Tape and what makes it different from every other tape out there. And so what I learned was that Sealah Tape, it seems, was made to work with fabrics and trims. That the reason they came up with it was for a quick, fast way of putting trims on fabric that would require no sewing. So I think that's what it was intended for, and that's mostly what it is used for. It says on here that, or it says online, that it can work with lace, satin, nylon, denim, tapestry, designer fabrics, even vinyl and leather, as well as a variety of other different types of fabrics. It does suggest though that it might not work quite as well with fabrics that have a heavy nap to them, or that are like really woolly or have a lot of lint to it, which is understandable. Tapes in general don't work very well with anything of that nature, but it does say that this will work for a lot of different types of materials. It also says that Sealah Tape, once it is set, it is washable, which is really good to know. So I guess the way it sets is that when you use it and you apply it, if you do not press it down, you can still reposition it. But once it is pressed down, it is there to stay. And then you press it down and let it sit or cure or set for 24 hours. And then from that point forward, it is permanent and washable and should be stuck there for a very long time. So we're going to test one of those, or we're going to test that. Another thing that it says about the Sealah Tape is that although it is used mostly with fabrics and materials, it is not meant for sewing. So if you use the Sealah Tape and then decide to sew over the area that has been taped, it is likely to gum up your needle. And it also says that it's not meant to replace your sewing machine, but it's, you know, meant more for adding various trims and things like that to your project. So we're gonna kind of test the boundaries of that as well. We're gonna see what we can do with this fancy dancy tape. It also says it has a shelf life of about 2 years, and to keep it in the little plastic bag. All right, so let's see what we can do with this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this up so that we can get to these tapes here. So there's that. And it's in a resealable bag, which is helpful. Okay, so we've got that one. So this is the 1/8, 3/8. I'd say that's quarter, 1/2 inch. And, yep, that's sticky. Yep, that's sticky. And I think that's 5/8, right? Now this is 3/4. So 3/4. That is, it looks to me like it's 1/2 inch. That is 3/8. That is 1/4 inch, and that is 1/8. There we go. Okay, so that's what the tapes look like. The first project I'm going to work on is going to take up this entire space, so I'm going to try to get it to fit in here, but I'm curious to see how this will work. So let me grab it. Okay, so this right here is a card display that my husband made for me, so it'll hold all of my cards at craft fairs and everything. You can just flip right through them. And so what I want to do, here's the side view of it. What I want to do is I want to put lace around the edge of this. So I'm curious to know if the Sealah Tape will adhere the trimming or the lace to wood. So we're going to give that a test try. I'm going to try as hard as I can to make sure that I stay within shot, but yeah, I'm gonna try my best. But that's the first thing we're gonna test this on, is we're gonna try it on this wood. Okay, so the lace trim that I want to use here is this Floral Garden lace. I got these spools at the Dollar Tree, so I'll leave a link below in the description for the Dollar Tree where you are able to buy these. So my plan is to take this lace and add it to the front, or actually all the way around. It's hard to hold on to. So that is the plan. And then we're going to see how well it adheres and if it holds the lace. So first thing I need to check is which tape is going to be the right size for this. So let's see here. We have the big one, which that is way too big. The next size down, that might be a good size for it. Let me check the next size. I'm going to set that one there. Here's the next size for it. Right there. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this size right here for setting this up. So this isn't enough to go all the way around this guy, so I've got the brand new rolls, which hopefully will be enough to go all the way around it. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I've got my Sealah tape and my new scissors here to try out. So we'll set those down right there, and I'm going to open this up. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is determine the front, which is this side right here. And so I'm going to start at the back and do the tape all the way around. And I'm going to try to keep it as even as I can all the way around. Let me flip this up like this. And then here's the tape. Wow, this is really super sticky. There we go. This is super, super sticky. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut this end off right there like that. Throw this little piece away. Okay, so I'm going to start, I guess, over here. And I just want this as close to this edge as I can get. Oh, it's sticking to my fingers too. My goodness. Oh. Nope. Oh no. Okay, now it's not really all that repositionable. Once you move it, it's moved. Or once you stick it, it's stuck. Because when you try to lift it up, I don't know if you were able to see it, but it's like, see, it's stuck to my finger there too. It's, yeah. It's kind of ooey gooey. Alright, let's see if I can move this over a bit so you can see a little bit more as I get to this corner here. Alright, there we go. Alright, this is going to be tricky. So I'm going to have to do this part out of view. I wonder if maybe if I do it like this. I'm going to try to get this all into view here. So I hope you guys can see this. This is actually kind of hard to fit into the camera view. And kind of hard for me to see what I'm doing. But this is very, very sticky tape. Put that right there. I'm going to lift this back up again. And we're going to come around this way. I need to turn this around actually so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, hopefully you guys can see what it is I'm doing. I'm sorry. This is a bit more cumbersome to get into camera than I anticipated. So I'm sorry about that. this over a bit more. There like that. Right up like that. All right, let's get this. See if I can fit this in. Okay. So let me snip it with these scissors. There we go. So here's what I mean by it's like super sticky. It's like, see how it kind of, that's what I mean. So it says it's repositionable. I would say no, not so much, because you're going to get gooey things like that. So when you stick it, make sure it's where you want it. All right, so I got the tape all the way around the box. Now I'm going to kind of burnish it a little bit and make sure there's no air bubbles underneath it. My scissors are in the way. Stick them in the little stashin' store. All right, so there's that. And here's this side. And here is this side right here. Okay. So this part right here is the back. I started the tape at the corner, but I want the lace to start in the middle of the back, I think. Do I? Or do I want it at a corner? You know what? I think I do want it at a corner. I was thinking I would hide it, but yeah, I think I want it at a corner. So I'm going to start the lace on one side. I'm only going to peel back a portion of this as I'm laying the lace. So here's the lace that I'm using right here. So I naturally want to go from the left to the right, but I don't know. If I do that, then I've got to start on this end right here. So, oh, what the heck. We'll give it a try right here. We're going to start on this end right here. So it's going to be kind of hard to see. I will try to get it into view here. So I'm going to be going right along there. And when I get to the side, then I'll flip it up so you can see how I'm doing there. So I hope I burnished this down enough to where it's not going to be all stringy and gluey. So I'm going to peel this back, and it's still kind of stringy and gluey. I'm going to peel this back to about right there. I'm going to take my lace, and I'm going to snip this end here because it's all kind of frayed and goobery. So after this is all set up, once the tape has set, then I'll come back and I'll add a little bit of nail polish to the end here so it doesn't continue fraying. But for the time being, I'm just going to leave it as it is. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put that right there and try to keep it as even as I can. And then I'm just going to go right along this side here. I'm going to try not to pull the lace too taut because then it kind of puckers a little bit. Okay, so it does look like the lace is kind of repositionable, like I can stick it on there temporarily and then pull it up. Press that all down. All right, and now I'm going to get to this corner here, so when I get to this point, I'll flip it up so you can see what I am doing. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just moving the lace along this edge here. So I'm going to pull back the release tape really slowly because I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it is kind of like gooey and it still wants to stick to the release. So we'll kind of it's a very gooey tape. So I'm going to stop it at the corner there. So I'm going to stop it right there. All right, and I'm going to take my lace and I'm going to unravel a whole lot of it. And I'm going to very, very carefully just kind of run it along this edge here. Now, so that you are able to see what it is I'm doing, I can't really see what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of running my finger along here to try to make sure that I'm getting this along the edge up here. But if I pull this too taut, then it kind of does this right here where it kind of bubbles up or puckers up a little bit. So I want to be careful of not pulling this too taut, but at the same time keeping it straight. So hopefully this is lining up okay because like I said, I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. That look okay? Do you think? There like that. All right. I'm gonna bring this down and then turn it around like that. Okay, and then once again, I'm gonna do this side here. So do the release tape. Here like this. Whoa. It really wants to stick to release tape there. There we go. Okay. And unravel some more of this. Set it over here. All right, let's get this corner. And there's that side right there. Looks pretty good. All right. This back up here. Okay. So let's get the last side here. Make sure that that is somewhat in view. Bring that down again. Whoops. Okay, it looks like burnishing kind of helps it a little bit, but it still wants to be gooey. All right, there we go. Now let's add some more of this lace. I'm going to unravel some more of it. All right. And again, I can't really see what I'm doing, so hopefully this is somewhat straight. Too far. Okay, so I'm down here at this corner. Use handy dandy scissors here. I'm going to actually trim off a little extra in case I need to reposition anything anywhere. All right, let's see how that was. Now I'm just going to go around and I'm going to reposition it if I need to and press it all down. Okay, so this all looks really good. So I'm going to press this all down really good. Now I can feel a little bit of the stickiness coming through. So we'll see, like coming through the holes of the lace. So we'll see how that feels after it sets. If it's still kind of tacky like that. Because like for example, through the holes here, I can feel the tackiness of the tape. So what I am doing is I'm just making sure it's all pretty much straight, and then I am pressing it down really well. Like that. To be honest, it does feel like it's on there pretty good. It doesn't feel like it's going to be moving at all. Like it's not wiggling. It ain't moving. Again. This is the final side that I did. So this side is definitely more tacky than the other side. And this is the last side that I did. So maybe it does, after a few minutes, start to adjust its tackiness. But it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. It's like on there. So. Okay. Move this all out of the way. So there's that. I am going to let this sit for 24 hours and then we'll see how this part does. I'll pull on this a little bit and see how it holds, and we'll do a little bit of a test to see how well it holds. But that's that part. I think this is so pretty. All right, moving on. Okay, so I have let this sit for well over 24 hours. So let's see how it did. I'll lift this up to its side. So here's the lace that we put on with the Sealah tape, and it doesn't seem to want to budge at all. I mean, it's sitting there. It ain't moving. Go up along the edge here, and I can feel where it wants to stop. I do think that if I were to really go for it, I can, you know, kind of pull it back, but I'm like, I have to work it in order to get it up. So I think that looks great. It's not moving much at all. Let's check the corner where the ends of the lace came together and where the ends of the tape came together. So let's see how that did. Okay, so hopefully this is in view. Right here is where both the lace corners came together, or the lace ends came together, and the tape ends came together. So I'll try to turn this up this way so So maybe you can see it. So there's one end right there, and here's another end. I purposely left this longer piece hanging because I wanted to test the end here. So it looks like this is sitting still. I mean, if I pull at it and pick at it, I could probably get that up. But for the most part, that ain't going anywhere. So let's see how it does with this end here. So, like I said, I left this hanging because I wanted to see if there's... Yeah. See, I can pull it back from the tape, but it's still really sticky. But I think, for the most part, unless I'm purposely trying to pull this off, then I think it's awesome. I think it's sitting still really well. I don't really feel the tackiness in the holes anymore, which is a good sign. I mean, when I pulled this back, I could still feel the tackiness, which I want to keep it there so that this edge stays there. But for the most part, I think this is awesome. Now, it does say that after 24 hours of curing, it should be permanent. And obviously, this is not if I'm able to pull this away. However, I am using this tape in an unconventional way, in a way that it was not intended for. So it might be permanent for the uses that it was intended for. For this, though, I'm actually surprised. This held up a little bit better than I thought it would. So I think this is great. What I'm going to do is, you know, take this to a couple of craft fairs and see how it holds up with, you know, being manhandled and moved around from place to place to place, and with people flipping through cards and weather and all of that fun stuff, to see how this holds up over the long term. But I think overall, this is great. I mean, it's not budging at all. So yeah, I think this is spectacular. So I'll trim that part off, and, you know, we'll see how it does at some craft fairs. I think I'm also, so here's the front of it right here. I think I'm also going to put a decorative, like a flower here, maybe, the very center up front, like that. So this is just a paper flower from Prima. If I can find it, I'll put a link in the description below. So I was thinking to use the Sealah Tape to hold that right on there, right smack dab in the middle, and see how the paper does with the Sealah Tape. So let's do that real quick. So here's the Sealah Tape right here. I'm going to pull some of it out. And let's see, I'm going to go for the thicker piece so that it really kind of grabs on. Since this isn't flat, I'm going to use a thicker piece. So I'll cut this using the Fiskars Non-Stick Scissors. So I'm going to do that out of camera view because this is taking up the whole space. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a piece of the Sealah Tape here. So I'm just going to put it on the back of this flower here. Kind of like that. And I'm going to moosh that on there as well as I possibly can. See if it'll let me peel back. Not yet. I burnish it down as well as I can so that it'll stick to the flower. There we go. Ew, it's so gooey. So you can see the gooiness there. Oops. Alright. Very gooey tape. So I'm going to tilt this forward a little bit so I can see what I'm doing and make sure I have it centered, and then I'll bring it back up. Okay, so I've got the flower on here, and I just kind of stuck it on real quick. But I'm going to try to press it down a little bit to get the Sealah Tape stuck onto the wood as well as I can. And then I'll fluff these back up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to leave this on and let it cure for 24 hours, and I think it'll hold this much better than it would hold the lace, so I have no worries about this. And then we'll see how it does at a craft fair, and I think it'll hold up super well. So I'm super excited about this. I'm pretty impressed. So if you are interested in purchasing Sealah Tape or any of the tools that were used, like the Stash and Store or the Fiskars Non-Stick Scissors, or what else do I have over here? Or, yeah, any of the other products that I used in this project. All of the links will be below. You can purchase them at Home Sewing Depot. And I gotta say, thank you to Home Sewing Depot. They provided me with these products to review, and I gotta say, I absolutely love them. I think these are all awesome. I like each item so far. I have not been disappointed. So, if you would like to see any more videos like the one I'm doing, or see any of my process videos, go ahead and click subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell so that you'll be notified when my new videos come out. And leave me a comment or come by on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to hear from you. If you'd like to support my channel, you could head over to Patreon. Scrambled Crafty Brain has a page over there with some super exclusive content, so go check that out. And if you'd like to purchase any of the products that Scrambled Crafty Brain makes, you can always head over to the website at www.scrambledcraftybrain.com. And of course, if you like any of the products that you saw here today, if you want to get your hands on some Sealah Tape or any of the other products, head on over to Home Sewing Depot. They are awesome. Links are below. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.